No.
Do you need a photo up there too?
Yeah.
Angela, do we have nominations for our open positions?
I would like to nominate our new secretary and vice president for the 2023-2024 term, Les Andrew for secretary, and Lois as our new VP.
Oh, wow.
We'll second it.
Has been seconded.
You haven't seconded. If you want to throw your name.
Oh, no, it's official.
Yep. So any discussion comments that we want to do? No? All in favor of both those positions? Aye. Any opposed? Yeah, he had his name.
I wondered
Over.
Lois.
All right. And accepted. Thank you, both of you, for volunteering or be volunteered, whatever actually happened. Yes.
For Mary, the judges lined up.
Yes, she has done an excellent job. Thank you.
Not an easy job to do.
Mhm.
Well,
Should have said that now that Lois has already accepted it.
Well, no, I've had lots of help
It's,
there. Everybody's willing to help.
Good.
I thought I was only in.
Yeah, it's an honorary emeritus role.
Yeah. Jeff will probably tell you there's very little to do, so no problem.
Can I make an announcement at some point?
Absolutely. I was going to ask if there was any new business. Lois?
Okay, we are going to be having a fair this next year. We're getting ready already after my first meeting with all the coordinators tomorrow. And we're working on changes and everything, but I wanted to give a heads up. If there's anybody that does not want to enter next year and you're interested in being part of the team, we are going to be looking for 3 people to join the photo crew next year.
That's it? Just 3?
Well, probably, well, at least 3.
When you say join, in what capacity?
It's going to be helping build the show, helping with judging, helping with intake, helping with inventory, building walls, putting Velcro on, hanging pictures on the walls.
All the hard, not fun stuff.
Pages. I can't pay you a lot. It's going to be minimum wage, which I think is $80 for next year.
What kind of benefits?
Very
Dental
good
and free tickets.
You get a back exhibit tour.
So if you are interested, or if you know somebody that's interested, let me know.
Sure.
And I think that we can do kiddos also, if they can get work permits from school.
Child labor.
Hey, it's mad money for them. So anyway, if you're interested, let me know.
Okay,
All right. Other new business?
Mary.
Oh.
Mary?
We need to approve.
So Mary would like to motion that we approve the rules as amended. Everyone should have gotten an email which details the changes that are going to go into for the year.
I think the biggest change was there's now an honorable mention or 4th place.
There's an honorable mention. The change this year is that there's one honorable mention, 4th highest scoring image. There could be many that would tie honorable mention. There will just be one honorable mention per category.
Okay.
Comments, questions on this?
Do we need to read the changes? Is there,
Right, yeah. People read?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I hope
Okay.
Yeah, you should have.
If you can't read, just say yes.
You just want to briefly talk about. Well,
Yeah.
First, let's vote on this. So There's been motion and seconded.
Okay, all in favor of the changes? Aye. Aye. All not in favor? The motion passes.
Okay. The categories that we propose are architecture and cityscapes, birds and insects, animals, except birds, insects, people, landscape and waterscape, still life, other. So everything else would go into the other category. And then if the category does not get 6 images, I believe, they'll
Yes.
be put into the other category.
So any cat, that have carried forward.
And we have judges, it's on January 14th at noon here in the PAB. Anatol Carl Sewell, and volunteers to come in early to help clean or to oriented and make photos around or whatever. So we'll be sending out some information.
And I think we're going to read the minutes for last.
I had printed these off, but nothing sitting on my desk. So these were the minutes for the meeting on September 21, 2018. Andy opened the meeting. Welcome to everybody. And then for upcoming events, Jeff discussed the upcoming year-end rule changes that we just voted on. As well as the spending for the 9th of October. Up program for October is upcoming program for October was on food photography. It was very informative. And election committee, Angela Andrew is the chairperson, and she needs nominations for the club vice president. I read the previous meeting's minutes of August 17. Treasurer had nothing to report. There was no new business. There was no old business. Mary introduced a guest judge, John Watts. He reviewed 19 images, 8 of which were monochrome, 7 were accepted, and 11 were color, 10 were accepted. We closed the meeting at 8:01 p.m.
Thank you. All right. We have a guest tonight. Nick,
Welcome.
welcome.
Thank you.
Came on a fun night.
Yeah, absolutely.
They brought brownies. Brownies.
They're good brownies too. Yeah.
Yes, we normally.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. And I was going to ask you, yes.
My first time.
Okay.
What are guests like to introduce
She's under the influence of the blondie.
I haven't had any blood.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And as I mentioned to Nick, we have sign-up forms. Here, please join. Hopefully we'll have some good outings next year. Jeff, you want to tell us a little bit about the Saturday?
Yeah, sure. I'll talk a little bit.
Since we've gotten a lot of questions about it.
Because I don't like to be silent for very long.
No, we know that.
It's crazy. So we are having I'll let you guys finish.
I know, I'm sorry.
We are having a food photography workshop Saturday. It's a lot like still life, except you get to eat what you photograph afterwards. So if you're on a diet, I highly don't recommend the workshop. Or maybe you just want to photograph the food. This comes after like 2
There
days.
is a sign up. Are there any openings still?
There are openings.
Okay. Sign up?
And there is a $10 surcharge.
They said 20.
$20, I'm sorry.
Oh, 10's going to you. Now I get it.
That's right. 10 for me, 10 for the food. Yes, to cover there's a $20 surcharge to feed the hungry. And there is a sign up online at this point. There's 2 spots open, I think. maybe 4, I don't know.
You said last night that we could sign up, so actually there could be 2 more if you want to take us off.
Well, I take that back, so there's 2 spots. I was gonna have another table in the garage, but I donated that table to Goodwill, so feel free to go down there and photograph food, though. They'll love to have you. Probably even have like some fake food too. You just gotta know how to shop at Goodwill. So anyway, there's that. The November, Angela will be talking to us about Milio. And it is a 5 Wednesday month, so we're canceling the 5th meeting for the 5th Wednesday. So no meeting on the 30th. Enjoy your Thanksgiving or whatever you celebrate with turkey, stuffing. And then there is no program in December, I believe. So the first Wednesday meeting, we don't have anything lined up.
And you would like to do
holidays,
anything?
we typically don't have a lot of Saturday activity or a lot of December activity. And then we do have a exhibition on the 21st. The first Wednesday in January will be Bring Your Print Night. So for the year-end competition, you'll get instructions on how to do this, but for the year-end competition, you'll submit digitally your images like you do for the quarterly competition. So if you've yet to sign in and create a password for your account, do that as soon as you can so that we can make sure you have everything set up so that you can submit. And we will start calling for entries the first week in December so you can get your images from the year that you've already submitted ready to go and upload those. Then the first Wednesday meeting in January, you'll bring your prints in to submit for the year-end competition.
So these are all pictures not only submitted, but have been accepted and hung on the
They
wall.
have to be accepted. So the rules are only images which have been accepted during the year are eligible for entry. That's a Wednesday, not a quarterly competition. Those are not eligible. Anyone else have any questions about how that works? This is a lot of people in this club. This is your first year in competition. We haven't had one in a couple of years. So we're pretty excited about that. We have new software that we're using to score and track the images. So hopefully that'll go and make the afternoon a lot smoother. I've been here for quarterly or for end of year competitions that take 4 hours.
I have a question.
Oh, well, I'm done.
So I'm trying to remember because we were with, at what point were all the pictures here and printed and not necessarily Zoom? I'm thinking
In
of
March, we
So-
started back in person.
back. So we may have pictures that were submitted.
If they were accepted, you can submit them electronically, print them, and bring them in. We will have a record of that, so we'll know if they were accepted over Zoom.
So there could have been a couple.
But yeah, those are eligible for entry, but they have to be printed.
Right.
So if you submitted and we projected that over Zoom, then you'll need to go and print that, mount it like you would for. Another thing is for the rules allow you to take what the judges gave you feedback on and make changes. So if they said, darken down this area and maybe brighten up this area, maybe crop this, you're allowed to make those changes, reprint it, but you have to bring the original in with it. It has to show that it was accepted. So you can do that and then reprint it and bring it in. You show Mary and Andy have to approve your entry. So you bring a $5 in just so you can grease the wheels a little bit. 5.
Well, I thought once they were accepted.
You didn't get the email on how to
Uh-huh.
turn Darkroomers into a money-making adventure?
Only 5 though?
Well, you can raise your price if you'd like.
I mean, it's gonna be both of us,
Well, you gotta split it.
That's what I mean.
Anyone else have any questions about the, yes?
Not about your end, but I think you had said that there was another get together, photo walk, something between now and the end of the year, wasn't there? You had planned?
You did, you
Yeah,
planned
you
one.
announced.
There's one that I have planned too, which I was gonna mention here in a second, but I thought there was one other that you had mentioned.
December 17th.
That's one that I've got going.
Is it on the website?
No, mine isn't yet. I don't have.
No, I
one of
mean,
those
the
yet.
one that we talked about.
There was a
There's a
workshop
critique
that's
of-
supposed to be Saturday,
Yes.
December 10th.
21st. It's really close. Yeah.
So I don't have one on the calendar
Okay.
for December.
Oh my God, she's
For
amazing.
December
Oh, is she?
17th, more details will be coming.
Oh,
It's not a Darkroomers exclusive event. It's the Darkroomers are invited.
Oh, good.
Jefferson Graham from Photo Walks TV. I'm working with him with Milio, and he does photo walks in all these different places. He's got a great YouTube channel. I put some links to his stuff on Slack. It's fun. So he's gonna be coming to San Diego, and in November we're gonna do some scouting for like 3 days and go do some fun stuff, and then we're gonna host a photo walk. And he's gonna videotape it and stuff, put it up on his thing. So I think if anybody wants to participate, it'll be a fun thing to do.
We do have a photo outing on November 19th,
That's
and it's Crystal Pier.
Oh, that's right. What date? Sorry.
19th.
I don't know what, I think it's a Saturday.
What time?
Well, it is,
November 19th is a Saturday.
I think it's on the website. Yes, it's at 3 o'clock. Low tide's at 3:15, sunset's at 5. You don't have to show up at 3. But you want the low tide, 3:15, and then it'll be dark at 5. Remember, the days are getting shorter.
Yeah.
Then we go out for dinner.
Well, they'll be even shorter then. Don't we go back on standard time?
Not until I think the 4th Sunday in November,
Oh, is it? Oh,
or maybe it's the first Sunday.
yeah, usually it's right after Halloween.
Well, I don't know.
You're right, because it's usually on or near Halloween, so it screws up all the
So it'll be
kids.
even darker earlier.
Daylight saving time.
You know, I picked up my phone the other day and I had Slack open and it had transcribed something I heard on TV and it was waiting for me to hit send. Yeah, good thing it just didn't send it. So anyway,
Especially depending on what
no
you're watching.
programs in December. And then for those who haven't been, which is most of you too, Darkroomers year-end event, the competition, it's an all-day event. So we come here at 9 o'clock, there's donuts, we clean the building. At noon, there's lunch for everyone who's here, plus the judges. And then hopefully this year we're out by 2. I don't anticipate a lot of entries this year because turnout is kind of waning. But we'll see. We've had as many as 200 prints, 189 really, in the past. And that was during, the years when we had a lot of members. But hopefully we'll have a lot. You have 10 each, so that's that.
Thank you.
Woo! What's this all about?
All right, well,
I think the meeting's dragging. You can get up here and do it.
if there's nothing else, shall we
Yes, let's get
get to the fun part here?
Okay.
Thank you.
As a sales associate and educational coordinator for George's Camera, tonight's judge, Larry McDaniel, is well known to all members of Darkroomers. He began his career in commercial advertising and product photography. With a desire to use light to reveal the best image, he created images for clients including Teledyne, Taylor Golf, Sharp, Reprographics, Faberware, and Red Lion. He is on several high school and college career and technical education advisory boards, is a Boy Scouts of America photo merit badge counselor, and a photo imaging instructor. So I'd like to welcome Larry tonight. And no, I didn't say marriage. I said merit badge counselor.
I am not a marriage counselor.
Merit badge. You guys obviously weren't Boy Scouts.
I had a. Cool.
And I think Larry can tell us more about George's
Oh, yeah, let me give you a-
anniversary.
Yeah, that is coming up this Saturday. I know you, that's that for me?
Yeah, that's for you.
Oh. Lovely lab here.
Good live TV, all local and cable stations.
Testing. Am I on? Am I spiking?
Are we good?
Going to that, aren't you?
Is it there? All right. Anyway. That's a good thing. Thank you for clearing that up. Yeah, I know you guys are going to have an event this Saturday morning with food. I used to work with several chefs doing food photography. It was fun. But by the time that we got done, it was not edible art. It was between the art agents and the stylist and all that kind of stuff. It was more paint and plastic than food by the time we got done. Anyway, this Saturday, George's Kearney Mesa store is celebrating its 8th anniversary. As far as the date is concerned, we're a little beyond the 8th, but we are celebrating this Saturday. Lots of things going on, incredible stuff. How many of you do your own printing? Anybody here do your own printing? Awesome. We're going to have, for those who don't or want to see some new things happening, we're going to display the Pro 300 printer. We have a Canon rep that's going to be there. We also have one of my favorite reps for printing that's going to be there, Veronica Cotter from Hanamule Papers. And if you're a paper enthusiast, Hanamule fine art papers are incredible. So she'll have samples there to have touchy-feely and fill it out and have fun with it. Lots of other reps. Nikon's going to be there. Canon's going to be there. Leica is going to be there. Leica is going to do an event in the afternoon also. You can go on our website. Please sign up for it if you want to have a camera in hand, because he's going to pass out cameras, not to keep. Okay, got to give them back. So Leica SLs with lenses. He's going to have a demo with it at about 3 o'clock, and then at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we have a model coming in the classroom. You will shoot, bring your card, put it in the camera, shoot some pictures. It's going to be fun. Mac Group is going to be there, so ceramic microphones. We're going to have tripods, the mineral tripods, all kinds of fun stuff there. Let's see, Fujifilm is going to be there. Lots of people. So, including you, all of you can be there, okay? I'll be there all day. It's this Saturday. Go to our website and check it out. I mean, Sony's going to be Sigma and Tamron are going to be there. Cool thing is, sometimes when we do these events, they have specials. Aha. Did you know, as a Darkroomer, as a club member, there are certain things that you get discounts on? Okay? Please always ask when you bring your stuff up to the counter or talk to us. I am a member of Darkroomers. We want to apply the discount on the things we can. There are certain things we can't do that on, but that being said, there's lots we can. Tamron's going to have specials on special bonus rebates. Canon's got some rebates coming out, all kinds of fun stuff. So be there, find out what it is. Go on our website and check it out. I've got this up here if you want to take a look later on. Also coming, Sandy Zalesko. I don't know if you know her. Most of you do, I believe. Going to do a wildlife class coming up. She is well published and does an amazing job. I think she's one of the few people from this area that are actually certified to take groups up and shoot bear and get close. So she can do that. She's got some amazing pictures. Anyway, the class is coming up. Any questions at all, please see me after this and we'll get it going. But thank you for inviting me. This is a privilege and a pleasure. So now I got to find out what I need to do.
You wanna put those down, those tables out there?
I can. You want to do that?
Here, I can do that.
You got
for
that?
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Dave will help you.
So we have 14 monochrome and 13 color.
All right, cool. All right,
More model.
monochrome.
So you accept.
So this is accept, decline, comment? Okay. Critique?
And there's,
And we mostly have tough skin.
Oh, you got,
oh, you
in
can
case,
use these
in
if
case
you
I want to
want
crop.
it different. Jeff is
Yeah.
the only one who cries.
What?
What?
Most of us have tough skin, but you're the only one who might cry.
Like a baby.
These are interesting. I like to do these and talk about composition, you know, and talk about how we actually see. This is how we actually see. We won't get into that.
So we have
Okay.
one white side, one black side.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So let me see. Can I sit here maybe and look more directly? Is this going to be in anybody's way?
Yes.
Okay, now I don't have a good. Yeah, I'm in your way. I'm sorry. I'm good. I think. Is this okay? Then I'll be in Jeff's way.
That doesn't matter.
Okay. So how many monochrome do we have?
14.
14. Joshua Tree. Love it. Typically, when I look at black and white, I go back to one of my mentors who is Justice Aaron. I don't know if anybody remembers him from around here. He was Palomar College. He personally knew Ansel Adams, so I got to meet him a couple of times. You always look for gradation, and this has full gradation, which is really nice, with no blown highlights. That's an absolutely gorgeous print. Nothing I would do to that at all. Be interesting to see what's just slightly below the bush in the bottom. See if there's any room to move down there. But other than that, that's gorgeous. So, yeah, nice. By the way, we hope to sometime next year get together with Nikon again and go to Joshua Tree to do a night sky Milky Way class. It was fun in the past, so hopefully we get to do that again this year. Interesting composition. Your eyes always go to the brightest spot, and when you have articles that are very sharp, like the words and that kind of stuff, your eye tends to go there, do that. So eyes are kind of fighting back and forth between the highlights and the pastries. As far as a journalistic piece, just showing what's going on at this point in time, I think it's very well printed, and I do like it. I'm not sure what else is coming up, because it just tends to have a little confusion between the headlights coming on, the bright spots in there, and then what I'm supposed to be reading. So it kind of fights that, but that could be just my look at it. It's well printed though, well printed. That would be an interesting one to hang, so I think we should accept that. One thing you can do when you have bright spots that fight or compete against the main subject area is to try to darken them up without making them muddy. Architecture. One thing in architecture is looking at verticals, parallels, horizon, making sure everything's in there to make the symmetry, because this print wants to be symmetrical. It has one offset, which is the light stand right down here, which draws your attention over to the side. But I think a little bit more attention to the vertical is just slightly off would have brought that in a little better, and maybe touching up that right spot back there, because your eye goes there and wants to stay there rather than float around the image and look at the architecture. I think I'd pass on that one for right now. If those lines could be made more vertical and darken that highlight back there to make it more even, it might be more attractive.
People can take your changes and resubmit them.
Yeah, that'd be good. That's dramatic. The smoke is well lit, and I don't see any blending of the smoke into nothingness. It has texture. Highlights are maybe just a little hot on the hand and the face, but there's still detail in it. I think maybe bringing up the blacks a little bit in that would give a little bit more drama to it, a little more on that, and bringing the highlights in. But I think that's a really acceptable print. Good portrait. I want to know, did he roll his own?
That's it.
Oh, fun. Cool. I like the tone of this. It looks old. It looks like the house. It looks old. That adds to the character. I like the texture, and I love the sky. Be really cool if the sky could be brought out just a little bit more, the whites in the clouds and the sky darkened a little bit, just for the drama of it. And maybe just a smidge off the bottom for the composition would draw your eye. The house would set down better in the image. Right now it's kind of hanging there. But just a little bit off the bottom would make it sit down in the image area. I like the print overall, so I think I would accept that too. This is one case where in architecture, the more that thing leans, the more character it has. People are fun. You almost have to have a black and white people category, you know? That's kind of cool. Except for the missing toe that she has down there. It's kind of fun how things have changed over a period of time as to what's acceptable and what's not acceptable in posing. You know, you never cut the toes off, but if you cut anything off, you don't do it at the ankle, you don't do it at the knee, and so forth and so on. I know some of those rules have been changed a little bit, but you know, she's setting right on the edge there. You can't see, is the toe actually on there? It's setting right on the edge. I like the action in it. So depending on what else is coming up, I mean, this does show people in action. It shows something is fun and joy. So I would accept that. Just watch the toes. It's kind of a thing. Lawyers. Okay, hopefully those are how many got run over. That's awesome. Oh, ouch. It's interesting. It's fun. It's funny. It's got humor to it. As far as a print, I think it could have been printed a lot better. Your eyes come in and want to flow to someplace, but ends up back on the hood of the car because that's the brightest point. And of course, you have detail that your eyes bounce around to. The end of the car down here is kind of blocking things. It's just kind of disturbing a little bit. So some of the changes, if that were able to be removed, print up the hood a little better so it has actually texture and form, or shows the form on it. If there's just too, yeah, it just loses it. So it doesn't have enough form up there to really let your eyes settle on detail and see things in the hood. This needs to be printed differently, I think. A little better. So, not that. Okay. Somebody, whoops, I lost something there. If somebody moves the chair when I sit back down, I'm going to be in trouble and end up on the floor here. The concept is awesome. I love the shadow, the play of the shadow with the actual image, the flower, the dried up flower. The corner down here needs to go away. The corner down there is disturbing. It doesn't add to the composition at all. And I think just even cropping that part off, I'm getting tangled up here, coming over this way and just knocking that corner off would be terrific, because your eye is not going to be distracted away from the main subject, which is those two flowers right there and that shadow. The two flowers and that shadow are awesome. Printing the corner up here a little darker so that your eye doesn't float that way. You always want your eye to come in and stay in an area, to be able to move within the picture area and not be distracted either to a corner that has stuff in it we're not sure of what it is, or to a bright area that takes you out of the picture. So I think just redoing the print on there so that you get rid of that. I know the texture in the wood is awesome, but it's not your main subject. The flowers are, and that shadow is. And just getting rid of that corner and darkening that the other corner, the top left-hand corner, would make that print a lot better. Pay kind of close attention to also the texture in the flowers, so that you make sure you bring those out, because there is texture in there. If you make it snappier, it's going to be more alive, more vibrant. So that one's not quite ready yet. It's fun to see hands go right in. Guinea pig. That's interesting. So no, you need that hand there. Somehow or another, that hand on the left hand, that fist and hand leading into there, keeps your eye coming into there, and it goes right into the boy's hand. Look at how it comes up, follows his elbow up and around down to the guinea pig. So you see how that catches the eye, floats it around. The only thing I would do is maybe darken the corners a little bit more, so the center of attention is the more dramatic part of the image, and the lighter area doesn't distract anything. I would just darken those up a little bit. I like that. That's a good one. And the highlights on the hat and that kind of thing, they may be a little too blown, but you know, that backlight on there, it shapes the head, it shapes the kid, so it really pulls him out. I think just a little reprint on there would be good, but I like that one. That's a nice one. I was concerned about the hands, but they work. When you're photographing sports, the action is key. Capturing that motion or stopping that motion so that it looks like the athlete is really into this movement is very important. You've got a lot of that element in there, but what's distracting is all this stuff on the other side. We know it's at a bowling alley. We don't really need this other stuff over there. And if we could darken up the highlights in the top up there just a little bit, I think you'd find him more the center of attention. Right now, he's in the center of the picture and not the center of the attention. So it doesn't quite compositionally work to where the action goes right to him. It's distracted by other elements on there that really don't need to be in the picture to show him off. Maybe getting rid of that or drawing your attention directly to him would be better. And darken that corner a bit. Yeah. So not pylons. That's fun. That's fun. That's fun. Oh, okay, so those are highlights. Pretty cool. It's very soothing. It's a soft image. It's sharp and where it needs to be sharp, but I mean, the whole overall feel is very soft. There doesn't need to be a tremendous amount of contrast in this. It's amazing though. You do have right along the edge of where the bridge comes down and goes across the island out there, whatever is out there. You do have some highlights in there, which kind of are fun to look at. But for overall, there's no super rich blacks. There's no super bright whites. It's just a very soothing gray tone type image, which works. It works. That's a good one. I like that. So, it just seems a little bit off balance. It's heavy this way. Can't really get rid of the road. You need the road to lead you in. The other side, you need that for the road to go to if it's curving around there. Compositionally, it doesn't place the clouds where they would balance everything out. I think it's a great attempt at what's going on there. It's a nice print. You've got some rich tones in there, and with all the grays as well. I don't know what I would tell you to change. Now that's interesting because you have the shadows where the highlights coming across the clouds. You actually have shadows casting. It would almost be good. Let's see here. Put that there for right now. Maybe coming across this way, maybe down just a little bit this way, just to put that into more of the thirds area rather than in the center would make that more alive. I would try to reprint that along that way without losing this great texture and tone you have in here. And I love the shadows coming down here. If you don't keep those in there because they add character to those clouds, the way the sun's hitting and coming down. But I think just the placement compositionally, it'd be more exciting if it just cropped a little bit different. So I'd play with the cropping, see what you can do to make that pop on that, okay? Looking at the shadow areas, you got lots of detail in here, which is awesome. It's not blocked up, which is really good. Cloud could have been printed up just a little better, but that's good. Lots of texture, lots of form. This kind of a composition, keep your eye doing this so that you come back around to the clouds and this. So this becomes your center of attraction, even though these are the most powerful points of the image. Your eye wants to come back here and this becomes your center of attraction. So, I mean, that works. That's a fun print. Oops. I like that. I like that. Just some minor things could make it over the top of the way it's printed, but other than that, you got the detail in the shadows. You didn't block it up. It's there, and you do have whites in the highlights. So that's good. I like it. You need a dull sheep up there on top of the color it is. Was this during? Well, I can't ask that question. Never mind. Capturing a couple meteorites in there. It's kind of cool. Always kind of look at the stars when I look at these things because you want pinpoint. You want round as can be pinpoint stars, and those are really good. I think if it were printed, if you had time to work with the colors in the Milky Way, bring out that cluster a little bit better, that would really, really pop. And kind of watch the edges and corners of your image to kind of vignette them in a little bit, because your eye wants to come to the cluster of that. It just needs to be bumped up and sparkled a little bit. Capture the stars really well. They're very sharp. But I think as far as the brightness of the color that's actually there, if it were brought out more, it would be more dramatic. And that's kind of what you're looking for. That's a Milky Way. That is a dramatic star cluster. You want that to pop. So the more drama you put into that, the better it is. And sometimes you can do that just by simply not letting the corners get so bright also, so your eye comes to it and doesn't get lost back up in the corners. You always want your eye to flow to the main subject. The Milky Way is your main subject. So I think a little work on that would be better. So not that. Maybe a little bit off the bottom, but the building sets on its own because it's like it's over a ridge. Just kind of sets there. Love the clouds. If they were popped out a little bright, more contrast, a little bit more color difference between the hues and the clouds in the sky, that would pop out. But overall, I think that's a calming old image look. I like it. That's a good one. Oh, that's a beautiful place. I still want a kayak down there. That looks awesome. Color. Clouds are awesome. They stand out. You can see the difference in how the blueness of the sky and the deepness of the blue up there, and the rays coming down through the clouds. You see the rays coming through there. Really nice. Maybe would have printed the center column there, right at the horseshoe there, brought a little bit darker. Bring that contrast up so you see more of that red more brilliantly, and then keep the corners darkened. But that's overall a good print. Great tonal range back in the background where the Badlands off to the left or right hand side are. It's really nice. I like that one too. That's good composition. That's one of those kind of compositions you can cheat all over the place because you're dealing with a horseshoe right in the middle, right? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. I have to find out if that was a drone shot. Okay, that's fun. I would have printed the sky a little darker, but that's fun. I like the way the curve in the bottom brings your eye back up to the building, catches all this going on in there, the scrolling going on, comes back to Boyle Sports, and your eye likes to move in there. I like that one. That's nice. Good colors. Lots of good contrast. That's a good one. Yeah. Aha, food shot. There's so much you can do to backgrounds now, dealing with digital to kind of make them less part of the image. That's the only thing I would change on this one. Good reflection in the glasses. The guy's in action. He's flipping the burgers. Good color, that kind of thing. Even the guy standing back there in the black shirt doesn't bother me too much, but I mean, you can't really crop that without losing what's going on down here, and that's important. Maybe either by, and I wouldn't, this is one of those images, I would not darken the background. I would have softened it or blended it or something in the background you can do digitally so that it's not as apparent. It kind of lets the person flipping the burgers stand out, pop out just all the more. But other than that, that's a great shot. I like the action in that. That's a good journalistic shot.
It's helpful if you said accept.
Accepted.
Or
Oh, I should say that, huh? Yeah, accepted. I gotta keep him guessing.
I've been getting his slang.
Yeah. He keeps changing it. Keeps you on your toes.
Is that the way it goes, or does it go this way? I like it.
Let me verify real quick.
The
way
way it is the way it is.
in theory.
Yeah, in the theory, that's good. I mean, you can obviously tell that's been worked, but that's been worked nicely. It's not, it doesn't look like anything is really, overdone maybe a little bit in there. But, sometimes that kind of thing that you do to it to bring more out adds that texture in it, just makes it right. And your eye has a place to go, and you have colors to follow. So I like that one very much. That's accepted. It's a little overworked on the top. I don't know. Maybe we can talk about that, but it's nice.
Everything's so small.
Leave it up. Okay. Well, it's just forward. Yeah, that's I'll be ready to jump.
Vertical panels. That's awesome. That's fun to see, when iceberg, when these calve and they fall into the water and they do weird stuff to the shape and stuff. It's fun to see what comes out of them. I mean, for an overall image, each image on its own, I think has its own presence, and each image could stand on its own. The three together kind of tell a story, and it's nice. So I would accept that. The only thing I would maybe reconsider how it was matted. That maybe, I don't know what the rules are as far as what you have a darker matte rather than white would make those things stand out tremendously well. They would pop. A black matte on there would be awesome. But that's accepted, yes.
Oh, this is.
Oh, fun colors. Oh, it is. Okay. I mean, the only thing distracting on that is on this one too is the white matte. I think a darker matte would make that stand out more, but it still works. The colors are amazing. Softness of the colors, everything's sharp. It's well composed. Your eye leads in right in here. You have a reflection of the trees that bring your eye back up and keep your eye flowing through there, so that you're not leaving the picture. It's got all the elements of composition that you need to keep attention. You want somebody to look at your image and stay there. You want them to enjoy your image and stay there for a while, not leave it. And that's an enjoyable image. That's accepted. Sometimes places like this, you just find them and they're just so much fun. There's just color, and even though there's no people there, it's life. It's full of life. This is one of those cases where right straight down the middle, compositionally, it works. There's nothing you can do to that to make that any better. The cool thing is the counterbalance of the boat on one side, the kayak over here, and the porch over here. It just they complement each other in a really cool way. And then you have the building there with all its color and all its fun stuff. That's an awesome print. Only thing I'd probably do there again, our eyes are very, very susceptible, our minds actually are very susceptible to going to a brighter spot and leaving the image. Maybe darken the corners a little bit, but other than that, it's good. I like acceptable. It's fun. That's nice. I like the pops of the color. The pops of the color bring the whole thing to life. If it just kind of imagine that without the green, the leaves and that kind of stuff in there, it'd be kind of spooky with all the shapes and everything that going on in there. With that green mat in there, the leaves and that kind of stuff, bring it to life. And your eye coming in here flows right up to that trunk and right back around and right back to the green. See how your eye continues to flow through here, and it's got lots to look at while it's doing its circle in this image. It wants you to keep looking at it, which is awesome. The only thing I would have probably done is got my axe and cut that one limb out, that one stick out of there. But other than that, that's good. That's fully acceptable. It's nice. And a little bit of green up in the top. You see the green filters in at the top? Just filters right down in there. It's nice. Yeah. Bless you. Planes are an interesting subject, especially when you're on the ground and they're in the air. But the best shots are usually up above them, around them, up in the air as well. Typically, you don't want to clip the wings of a plane in an image. You want it to all be there, unless you are really dramatically coming in for the cockpit or something of that nature. I think it was a great attempt to get the starburst behind the plane, and that's probably the most exciting part of that whole image, is getting that starburst back there. It just doesn't work with the plane and where the plane is in that image against the contrast of the sky. It needs more contrast. It needs more of the plane, and I think it would be nicer, maybe a little bit more detail in the star. So that one needs to be reworked, so it's not acceptable. Interesting color of cat's eyes. That's really yellow. Pretty color. In a portrait of an animal, you want the animal to stand out completely. I mean, this cat does stand out. You have some distractions like the extra leaves on the side over here and a really bright tree trunk over here that could have been darkened. If that was darkened and the leaves were cropped just a little bit, off-centering the face a little bit, break that rule if you want to, it would make that head stand out a lot better. The cool thing is the circles of confusion in the background add to that whole image area. It follows the pattern of the eyes and just gives you that the little extra circles in there that makes it nice. I think just a little bit of recropping and reprinting on that trunk would make that more of a cat portrait. I mean, a little better. So not done yet. Not done. It can be fun. Timing is everything. You know, just it's a great concept. I love the black on black. The rim lighting on the one side is really well done. A little brighter on the other side, been a little better. Less brightness on the arms would bring your eye back to the face, because right now what you see is her arms. Timing, if the hair was just a little bit to the other side so you see more of the eyeball, that would be a catchy image. It'd be fun. But the arms are too bright. It distracts from the face. The hair is fine. The hair does fine, except maybe a little more room on that eye. I mean, there's not much you can do about that except just the timing of the image. But the arms distract the whole image and take away from it. So that's not accepted.
And our final print for the evening.
Whoa. Okay, everybody go home and get some more. I think on choosing the mat there, I would have gone black instead of gray. The only thing is the silhouette part of that can still be printed down because it's not a full black on there, but those clouds just make the image. Clouds are awesome. When the sunset happens where the clouds are illuminated from underneath like that, it just adds super texture because that's where they're really coarse grain. Maybe a little crop from the top, although that tree does make it nice. I think there's some work that can be done on to make it a really nice print. When you do a silhouette, think of, don't be satisfied with the thing that's black until it's really truly black. Unless you want texture in there. If you want a silhouette that's just silhouette, go for the ultimate black. Tree's fine because it has a little bit of green coloring in it. But I would rethink the mat also and maybe just crop a little bit from the top, and that would be an awesome print. So work that one in, so not yeah.
Great. A little bit.
All right.
All right. All right. Well, hopefully I wasn't too harsh.
No, you were
But thank you, thank you.
My memory.
Okay, this one is Fairy Tale Forest by Lisa.
I love that.
Like all the trails with it.
Beautiful.
So that was up in, the Olympic Peninsula, right? So all the girls.
So that was one of your recent pictures?
Thank you for
Beautiful.
your comment.
I got a weird mind. I would find eyeballs and put eyeballs in the.
That little burl.
This one is Never a Dull Moment by Joyce.
Gosh, I was digging into my old pictures and prints, and that was in New Zealand about 7 or 8 years ago.
I got a question. So it says kayak tours, but there's only one kayak.
Well, they're probably hanging on the back end, Jeff. So I'm sure they have more.
Think I'd like
You
to-
want-
Or like cram into that one
But
kayak.
I was thinking about that for commercial photography. I don't know if it would be strong enough. Larry, is that sky, do you think that sky should be darkened or put more detail into the sky? Did he leave?
Yeah.
here.
Oh, so would you make the sky darker?
Maybe a smidge just to pop out the clouds, but what you don't want to do is make that distract from your main subject area there. So I mean, if the clouds become overpowering, your eyes go away. A little darker so that the top left-hand corner doesn't bounce your eye out because it's bright, would be nice.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
The top left-hand corner.
Top left.
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you darken that a little bit, your eyes will stay within the print.
Okay.
As your eyes come back to the brighter spots. And that's a bright spot you don't want your eyes to be. But I'd be very cautious making that sky too dark because you'll play against the side of the building.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, this one is Banker's Dam Stillness by Joyce.
Barker, yeah.
Is it?
Barker.
No, that changed the name. It's
That
Baker's
looked like an N to me.
That
Sorry.
could be. That was with one of our Darkroomers. That was
Yeah,
a fun
you
trip.
can take me for that, Scott.
Right before the Benjamin.
Thank you for that sky, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a really good trip.
Yeah, you're like the third or fourth person to submit that photo.
I submitted it once and it didn't get, I couldn't remember if I submitted this or I have one in the gold tones. So I didn't know which one to put in.
The what?
I remember the gold, yellow,
Oh,
anyway. So I submitted it once and it didn't get in.
And
Well,
It is in now.
2 times the charm for you.
This one is Ice Lagoon Glaciers, because I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that Iceland name.
A Mary photo, I guess, or Michael.
That's Michael's.
I just thought I'd try a triptych. I didn't see anything in the rules and so I couldn't do it.
I would just watch the size of your frame there, because it makes it hard to mount. See with the little clips on there.
Whoa. Add a little bit more.
I was wondering too, if you're going to do the triptych, if the two blue ones on top and bottom and that big one right in the middle kind of draw you out. No?
Well, I played around and I appreciate your suggestion. I think right.
Yeah, maybe a blue one, middle one
Right.
on top.
Yeah, I was thinking that one here, and then it'd be framed.
Yeah.
In blue,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was wondering about putting the tag for the photographer and the name on here, not being regular matted. So that might hide a little bit of the photograph.
Just do it the old way.
What you might want to do is put it on the top left corner, because that's just be kind
I
of.
could
Oh,
put it
yeah,
up there
right
too,
here.
but then I'll be the oddball sitting.
Michael,
Very nice.
Is that as it was, or did you desaturate parts of it?
Oh, that's a nice.
It looks like that.
Yeah.
No,
That's
that's as it was.
No, it was a flat light vein, so that blue.
Funicular.
Yeah. that's
She's
nice.
only used to
That-
seeing that.
It's called a funicular.
Okay, I was wondering if that was a T or an F.
You're having problems with my writing.
Yeah, I know, you're right, you're too cursive. So that's a funicular going up, right?
Yeah, question mark going up.
Yeah, going up.
Larry, I couldn't decide which way to turn this either, because I entered this a long time ago. It didn't get in. Stephen Burns was the judge, and there was some work needed to be done. It was in color. And he said, I'd really like to see what that looks like in black and white. And that's when I did it in the black and white, and then I did it in the metal for a gallery, and then I did really well at the fair with this. So I was really happy. I love it in the black and white metal. So that's a funicular, and it was one of these amazing lucky shots. I was at the island of Malta, and my cousin had deserted me, and I'm trying to kill time, and I get to the top of this, and it's an elevator that's run on cable. So the old days, it's got quite a history. And you actually, this is what I was looking down. And so that funicular, it's at the bottom. It takes you from the sea level up to the top to the Baraka Gardens, where the actual city of Valletta is. So I was just really lucky with that, to be able to, that I even saw it.
Right. You know, all elevators are run on cable.
Well,
I actually hung this wrong in the fair for you.
but you know what? It could go,
I did, I hung it that way at the fair.
but no, you had it hanging vertically,
Oh, okay.
and I had them hanging
Oh,
horizontally.
okay.
But we were discussing it, and I remember Larry Vogel said, well, that's a true abstract, and you can kind of hang it any way you want, you know? You can hang it any which way.
And this one is Double Cheese by Mary.
That was taken this summer at the fair, and I really liked the reflections in the glasses. And I tried darkening the back, and it, like you said, it doesn't work.
Is the guy in the background waiting for a cheeseburger?
I don't know, he looks like he is.
Looks like he is.
He's
probably thinking, who's that lady taking my picture?
But I like your suggestion, I'll go back and see if I can blur that.
Guessing that plate of veggies doesn't belong there.
Oh, they had those everywhere, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this one is Walking Past Boyles by Michael.
You can probably guess what this,
Boyle Heights in the Los Angeles area?
right. Boyles is a chain of betting shops all over the UK.
Oh.
And you can see the Guinness, I like that on the upper left, the Guinness sign. This is shot from a second deck of a bus driving down the street building.
Feels like you can't really see the, but you can now that you pointed it out.
Oh, I
Guinness.
did clean up the building on the upper left, yeah, that cleaned up a lot. Jump out of it.
Probably makes the property better.
Very nice.
This one is Path of Least Resistance by Dan.
Does anybody not know where that?
You need to get the guy with the kayak tours to go down there.
Yeah.
Open a shop.
So that's, obviously Horseshoe Bend and Dave, Arizona, know that it's not a drone shot.
Where are you standing?
You can get right on a rock right over here.
At the, railing
I've done that, yeah.
of the, place they built.
Can you
So-
do a drone shot there? That's a national park.
No, it's not, not a national park,
Oh.
it's part of a national monument, which is administered by National Park Service. I don't think they have.
Well, they would that's the area. We'll see.
They might, yeah.
Couldn't fly.
So this location has had a lot of scrutiny over the years because so many people were geotagging their photos and it started to erode and became a very hazardous location. And so National Park Service decided, well, we're going to solve that. And they put a big concrete platform there. It's not a platform that overhangs, it's just on top of the rock. And so they have a knife railing right there. And shoot that shot. Really, yes, but, so, and nobody shoots at sunrise. I shot that.
Really?
Is that Tamron 15 to 30, I believe. And so, yeah, so you're looking due west.
Right.
Everybody likes to get the sunset shot. But, you know, shooting into the sunset's a pain in the ass.
It looks pretty much like the sun's been up for.
So sunrise, that's probably about an hour after.
Yeah, but July, August,
June.
June. You gotta get up really early for the sunrise in June.
Yeah, our hotel is about 40.
Oh,
Okay, this is Till the Cows Come Home by Angela.
Put that in Bodie this summer. Did have fun toning on it to make it just kind of it fit the mood of the image.
Did you have to get rid of people in the picture or you found the spot?
It wasn't terribly busy when we were there. I mean, there were people, but it wasn't overrun.
I really like the composition, I already told you.
Yeah.
Very
And we had clouds. I was so happy to have clouds.
Yeah. You definitely had clouds, yeah. Nice.
And this one is Monument Valley by Mary.
We took the grandkids on a trip this summer and went through Monument Valley. We took this photo on that trip.
I do like that composition of the view. It's right there. There's so much to look at. You've got great detail.
Was that after they opened up the valley? The Navajo Nation was letting everybody on?
Yeah, it was open.
Oh.
It was really crowded.
Oh, yeah.
This
It was
is
in August.
Somnolet, Fieldville by David.
what's the title?
Somnolent, alluvial.
It's a mouthful.
Huh?
I said that fits, right?
I'm gonna have to look up those words.
Up, Cannery Row, Astoria.
Yeah,
It just got lucky, the fog actually just kind of blown through, so just a little bit flat, but. Thank you.
This is The Inspection by Lisa.
So this was from the fair.
I know, I'd seen that. So was that where I saw it was the fair, not here. I was in here.
what end are they inspecting?
Yeah.
Is that the face? I can't
He's got little eyes in there.
Sure those are all.
poke them out. Those judges have
Yeah,
hair.
yeah, otherwise that's pretty good size, he is pretty proud of. Yeah. Little eyes.
And this one is Zoo Characters by Manuel.
Yeah, this is at the San Diego Zoo. I just find those guys that with these costumes with the sticks, that they're just so interesting. So I follow them around whenever I go. I'm thinking about doing like a short story on those guys because there's like flamingos, there's these people on stilts, and like it's pretty cool. So yeah,
They're out during the day.
Oh, yeah.
And that night, especially now, because it's fall, they're neon colors.
Plus, night's a lot earlier.
This is still standing after all these years by Angela.
Another shot Bodie. Beautiful out there. We were lucky. It wasn't too hot. We had a nice, actual cool breeze. Like I said, there were
Is that all post?
I don't think I had my polarizer on there for that. And I did this so it's it was a handheld HDR, so 3 shots, 3 exposures, blended in Lightroom. And I think I did all of the other posts in Lightroom. It was the black and white conversion was choosing one of the black and white profiles. And then I did a little bit of work to darken the blues. The new masking tools for select subject, freaking awesome. Just select the house, add extra detail right there. And I didn't want to, my first rendition of this was a bit more contrasty, but I was looking at it right before I printed it and I'm like, it's crunchy. I went way overboard with the detail. So I reprocessed it and this one came out a lot better. I think it could use a little bit more contrast looking at it under this light, but it's a little bit more natural for sure.
You ever think about removing all the stuff in the background, make it one house standing on its own?
I didn't. I liked the kind of balance of seeing the surrounding area, but I mean, that's also what you do.
Foreground, background, I like it. Very nice.
This one is Cuban Marlboro Man by Lois.
So, this was taken in Cuba. We had gone to Pinellas Valley, which is where the cigar tobacco is grown. And we were there before sunrise, actually. And at this farm, this guy he was in the tobacco drying part, and he happened to be facing the door because he was looking at the workers outside, and he lit up the cigar. And I had to do quite a bit of work on it because I took the picture and it was in color and I tried it, but the dirt in Pinellas Valley is like orange. It's really high, I think, in iron. And
That's how you get that rich tobacco flavor.
yeah, probably. And so, but what happened is as the sunlight went through the door and hit the dirt, it bounced up onto his face and it made him completely orange. And so the color looked really weird, but I remembered that orange can convert really well to black and white. And so I had to do quite a bit of work on this to kind of raise the shadows up to get the detail. And anyway. So,
Is this your more recent trip? You've been twice now, right?
no, just once.
Oh, I thought you went twice.
So is it really a Marlboro or?
Marlboro.
Yeah.
Marlboro. The Cuban Marlboro.
That looks like a stogie to me, yeah.
I don't know. Somebody asked if he was rolling his own.
Well, they probably did, but.
Yeah. This is Searching for Dinner by Lisa.
So that is up in Astoria.
How are the
So
pasties?
thank you for the comment about the light.
How are the pasties?
There.
Is that
I was close.
It says pasties.
Pasties. No, that's what,
a British?
that's the British pasty.
Pasty.
Oh,
Is it?
You can say pronounce it pasty.
I pronounce it pasties.
Pasties, yeah, you're just
Oh, yeah, pasty, yeah, okay.
Pasties and pasties.
Where's your mind, David?
Pasties.
I thought they left out the R, you know, just like the pastries. Pastries
Very
and
nice.
pies.
This one is Last Highlights of the Day by Dan.
Yeah, so that's like a half mile due south of where Joyce's Corker Dam photo.
Oh, yeah, I know the area.
You need Baker there.
And there's nothing below that because I'm standing in the parking lot. There's a rail
room down the bottom.
or a little rope there.
Oh.
And so, yeah, so I struggled with this one because the Inselberg back there, the highlights, were a little bit hot. So it took a while to kind of work that in and do a little bit of texture. get that back down.
We've got good texture in the highlights, I mean, they're not,
Yeah.
they're not starting point.
Yeah.
Kind of forming the shape.
So
Is that sunrise?
that's sunset. So, it's probably an hour, hour and a half. Yeah. Okay.
Very good.
I think the choice if you buy it, work for Dan.
Did I